looking forward to this. I think there's some confidence in Na'Vi's AWPing. I mean, Dust 2 as the last map would say that to me. You saw Guardian's comments as well. They don't feel like there's much of a threat. I mean, there's so much threat on their side. Maybe there's no response from Astralis in their opinion.
Yeah, it's really cool having maybe 3 of the best maps for AWPing, considering we have maybe 3 of the best AWPers in the world in this matchup alone. So, very exciting stuff. Many people think that this could be the finals itself. Make some noise. Na'Vi versus Astralis. Kicking it off here on Overpass. The T side for Astralis, and Na'Vi on the defensive side on the CT.
Simple, going to be the one standing forward for the team. No early duels like you might see from Shocks, for example. Na'Vi playing the team game, and Simple, what we've seen so far is he's definitely been a team player for Na'Vi. Hashtag new Simple number 459, but this time it might be for real, Dan.
No, it really does seem like maybe that is the case, but it's, no, this is going to be the major that really would cement that. And already Astralis are just making some early map control plays here, just trying to work out what's going on all sides of the map here, seeing if Na'Vi are up to anything crazy, but Na'Vi playing pretty passively as well. To be expected here, but perhaps Simple might be poking there towards the toilets, just to see if there's somebody lurking, and indeed, actually, Simple's going to get tagged down to 1 HP. That is devastating, and Astralis will be quite happy with that.
Yeah, he's taken a headshot. Device is making his way down a long area, and the team seem to be rotating the bomb in that direction. Nothing but Glocks here for the Astralis side. Zipex is keeping connector open for the team. Maybe cutting off the rotation as well. Poking and prodding. The bomb might be spotted now by the CT side. Guardian taken by surprise. Maybe not expecting Device so close. How are they going to retake the site, Na'Vi? Can the Astralis get the bomb down? More players getting tagged. There goes Edward. Flamey, Simple and C's quite tagged. Flamey's the only one with full HP at the moment. And if the pressure is continuing here, 50,000 picked up from Device, peppering, but no kill.
Device did so much damage there despite the single kill. In comes Simple though. Strikes back. 3 versus 3, the health incredibly low for the Na'Vi members. Surely they won't be able to do this with such low health. And the bomb is positioned so well. The frag starts to raid in for the Danes, and they'll be able to take the pistol pretty easily.
Solid start from Astralis, taking the pistol away. And the pistol is very important on the CT side, especially when you're at the beginning of the match. So Na'Vi will really want to win the first buy round. 4 spies coming in from Na'Vi. Simple leaving himself with 1850 in the bank. In the second round, generally you'll have 1500 as an AWPer. Oh no, he's going for the 4th spy as well. So a very late decision there, coming in from the Na'Vi side. Guardian leaving himself with some cash. Other than that, they are all in for this round.
And Device so far today looks really confident. I know we've only seen 1 round, but very calm. And he's gone for the P90, James. He wants the chaos, he wants the carnage here with that gun. The spray and pray. Let's see if he can get any money made with that. We have 2 players there for Na'Vi lurking in the close quarters. And we'll have to see if that's going to pay off for them. It's a pretty expected position, typically, if you're going to be playing off of the pistols. Dupree's there, but he hasn't got much in the way of support, so has to be quite careful and try to spot anything here. It looks like he sees Edward, and if there's one, there could be more. Nate starts to sell in. Still take a note of that. Dupree able to capitalize. Very nicely done there by Astralis. Methodical play pays off.
Yeah, it's very nice indeed. Simple holding the high ground. Sometimes you'll see an anti-ecoing T side get some Molotovs and such in, take the high ground towards connector, and then push through connector from Dupree's position. Simple holding an angle on the upper side. Might have thwarted that, but Astralis were patient enough. Had the smokes as well. That leaves 3 Na'Vi players and 45 seconds on the clock for Astralis. Still got some grenades onto Dupree. Still with a passive approach. Super passive from Zipex. Device starting to clean up now with the God gun.
Still damage to be done here with these Deagles. And I mean, if they can keep them into the next round too, there's opportunity in that next round because they will be ecoing there. So the 3 teammates that are dead at the moment, Simple, C's and Edward, they will likely buy nothing. So the 2 Deagles they can make some plays with that. So just creating a situation now where if Astralis want to kill them, they will be at a huge disadvantage on the engagement. You can see Guardian is quite aware that there could be a player very, very close here. Na'Vi, not much room to breathe. Look at this perimeter set up by Astralis. I wonder if they'll push in there.
Yeah, Zipex starting to push now. He's been very passive. Guardian gets taken down. Instant trade from Astralis. Nothing saved for Na'Vi. Went for the 4th spy for the most part and did not yield much. Only Dupree getting picked off, and you see him with the UMP. Not going to be the biggest of deals. 2-0 for Astralis. Great start from them, and the more rounds that they get on this T side, the more of the T side we'll see from Na'Vi.
And I do like that we saw the confidence from Astralis as a team to actually just go and take away every single edge there. I think there's a lot of teams that would just let players of the quality, of the caliber of Na'Vi just save the Eagles, because they don't want to risk losing two or three players there. But Astralis, just out of the gate here today, look very, very confident. And indeed, we see that full eco. We see hopelessness perhaps for Na'Vi, although they will try to just stack everyone towards one side of the map on the A side, as we can see at the moment. Just hoping, praying that perhaps Astralis will run one of the two most common anti-eco strategies, which is to actually send almost all of your players towards that A side of the map, A long. You can very effectively play the anti-eco there. But it's unfortunate for Na'Vi because, as we can see, Astralis are kicking it over by the B-bomb side.
Yeah, dupree's made his way all the way through. Zipex will just check the nooks and crannies behind, and then the bomb will be rotated. You can boost from this position where Zipex is headed. If you go to that ledge, you can get someone on the balcony. That may play a part later, though you don't see it very commonly. Ideally, Guardian would like to have $3,400 in the bank in this round. He's got $2,750, so there are questions as to where Na'Vi will go with AWPs at the beginning of this match. Na'Vi, they're not going to engage, it seems. Again, in this situation, when they have got nothing invested, they just don't want to give Astralis the loss bonus, sorry, the kill bonus with guns like a UMP that give you more than usual. So they'll just try to do their best to hide. Overpass, not the easiest map to hide on. And
they're all in the playground, James.
Yeah.
Oh god, this could get messy. This could get very messy. They're all spotted out here. Oh, the knife comes out. Good attempt there, but it's not going to work out there for Na'Vi. Only getting one frag onto device. To be honest, coming away very well with that. And the cool thing here is, again, Astralis, they don't have to go for the kills. They don't have to risk it. They know that, but they're so coordinated. They're trying to take away every single edge from Na'Vi at the moment. Just the level from both teams, the focus from both teams is amazing. Speaking of edges, we asked a question about the economy that Guardian had. He is AWP no armor in the first round. This is something that we commonly saw from Kenyes for a while as well. They would somewhat ruin their economy at the beginning. You see there are almost no grenades for Na'Vi, so Guardian's going to have to go aggressive. He can't really face the fountain area because he would be susceptible to grenades. Making his way for a pop flash, for a crouch peek maybe, in towards connector, but he's stuck out of position. This might not work out for Na'Vi at all. This is very scary. dupreeh will spot out Edward. Edward actually able to take the fight by himself there. Doesn't need the assistance of Guardian. Simple picks off one as well, but the trades come in numbers there. 3 in a row for the Danes, and that's going to be very problematic now for Na'Vi, because what do? They've got Seized and Flamey left. We have the gun disposal service, courtesy of Device, by the water fountain, so there's no guns to be picked up there for Na'Vi. That said, they're so far away, doesn't even matter. How they will do this? They split up, looks like they will, and that 1 versus 1 is not going to be going too well on the Na'Vi side. Oh, the bomb's not down though, and it's not anywhere near to being down. It could even get cut off from Seized. Oh, behind you, Seized, there's another one. There's Device clearing out the round for Astralis. Some damage done to the T economy towards the end, but indeed that seemed relatively easy for Astralis. Na'Vi starting on the back foot, and again, you lose the CT pistol 4-0. This is not a good start for Na'Vi. Big crowd here in Atlanta on the first day of these finals. Yeah, this seems like, if you're an Astralis fan, this is going really well. I don't know what their pre-game ritual looks like, James, but I want to know, because they are exuding confidence at the moment. It's oozing off of them. I can't wait to see where that takes them. Na'Vi with a save here, more or less. Half buy, we've got some Deagles in there. We have a UMP and armor on Simple. So perhaps that can yield them some kills, some action in this one. And they've finally stacked the right place. But dupreeh, his job is to get the clipboard out, to find that information, to find out where that stack is, and hopefully guide his team to the safest path to victory in this round.
Smoke goes down, that's going to allow the bomb to go down in many situations, but also obscure some vision from the high ground, and may just bait the CTs towards the to the B side. That's a common smoke grenade. There we go. Nice angles being held by dupreeh. Hasn't got time to reload. Smartly getting the Glock out. In the meantime, dupreeh will eventually get picked off. His team, though, not really committing to anything just yet. Keeping control of short B. Sees picked off at range. Again, the Astralis with a very measured approach. So far, so good for them. Na'Vi heading towards maximum loss bonus in the next round. They'll get 3,400 should they lose this. So we'll see an AWP and armor on Guardian at least. With the money Simple has, they'll have 4,400 in the next round. Though if they chose to go 2 AWPs, he could be dropped.
They're just taking it so slowly, and again, the level of confidence applied also with that team coordination we're seeing, the togetherness from Astralis is working out really well. Everybody's quite clearly on the same page, not missing a beat from a team play perspective. We'll see how long that lasts. We do have a potential in Edward, perhaps. He is kind of flanking the push onto the A-bomb site with that Deagle, looking for the next player, Zipex. Perfect timing, coming in the back through the stairs. And that leaves Guardian and Flamey to do some damage here for Na'Vi, and they definitely would do quite well to get some damage out here. Doesn't really matter if they save these guns, they're going to be buying next round regardless. Flamey with some pot shots there, but still no luck for Na'Vi.
Guardian tried to make some... Oh, never mind. Device with the form of his life at the moment. Will it continue through this tournament? Can he bring his team to victory? We will find out in the next few days. This is a great start though from Astralis, 5-0. Again, an opportunity to break the bye of Na'Vi, put them on eco once more. Guardian straight for the big green gun. The rest of the team haven't bought just yet. Maybe talking about whether they want a second one. I think we have a timeout here. We do. It's a tactical timeout from Na'Vi. This is an important round. At this point, I wouldn't say that they can really afford to lose any more rounds on their CT side.
Just from the efficiency of Astralis is just giving them so much money, so much bank. And if that continues, indeed, it's going to be a situation where Na'Vi never get to play against ecos, which is a very big problem when you're on the CT side. You're already having buys that require a larger amount of money to have that full buy, as opposed to what the Ts can work with. So it is a very grim situation, and they really need that big performance from one of the players just to lift the spirits, lift the morale a little bit, because so far we haven't really seen anybody firing off from Na'Vi. They haven't had many opportunities. Again, Astralis have been so good at taking edges away and denying them. And perhaps that timeout will serve to maybe break up the momentum a little bit from the Astralis boys.
So Simple's going to be having a look around the connector area and then instantly backing off. From the top of the connector stairs, you can hear somebody if they run down the ladder. So maybe just trying to get an early beat on what the idea is for Astralis at the beginning of this round. Guardian, ever an important man, holding an angle towards long. Someone behind the boulder though. Who's going to find who first? Device, ready and willing. Na'Vi cannot underestimate Device. He is, as he said before, he's watched all the demos of the top warpers, added something to his game here or there, but he knows what to expect from these people as well.
And that does ask a response here of Na'Vi. They've got down a man early on the CT side. They have next to no grenades left. A single smoke, a single incendiary, and a handful of flashbangs. How do you manage this situation? It can be very difficult in an overpass when you've given up a lot of space. Some teams would choose to stack the A bomb site with more players because you can play a retake on B and just maybe even save if you lose B very quickly and just hold on to A, as A is the harder side to retake. That's a common approach in this situation. But Na'Vi still spread out, perhaps trying to find that big individual performance to just get them back into the game, because they certainly need it right now. Simple's the first man perhaps to see this push coming. If you get a couple here, that could really go a long way in this round.
Yeah, Edward is very far back on A as well, so Simple's here on his own. Needs to try and avoid getting traded. Pushing forward, Glaver's a good start. There goes Kirby as well, straight in the head for the first shot. Oh, thinks Zipex, he gets his bell rung. Massive damage done by Simple. 3 CTs remaining on the rotation now, 15 seconds, no time for Astralis to go towards B.
Beautiful stuff here from Na'Vi. Simple stepping it up, and his teammates knocking the rest down as Astralis were forced to commit onto the sites. That's exactly what we're talking about. You needed that big performance from one player. They didn't play scared. That's so important. It was Simple to step it up, and that was enough for Na'Vi in this round to take it back. So incredibly crucial. Here it is. Even gets the dink on 3 players, effectively almost just taking 3 out of the game by himself. Very nice stuff from him. Let's see if that continues now, as the Astralis, of course, have a lot of bank to go to keep the buys coming. Na'Vi, they have to find the momentum. What is Guardian up to now with his orb? That's the question.
Oh, he's on a short position. The Brig gets picked up. Will he be traded though? Edel's been taken down in the meantime, but Guardian is going to be a very important player for the Na'Vi team. Looking to rotate his position now. Astralis moving forward in the long area, but they're quite spread out. It looks like Astralis want to play slow rounds as well. But maybe they'll be forced to a reaction, losing Dupree early. It is still a 4-on-4. Device though, he could take them by surprise. Oh, he could cut off Guardian here. He could get even more than one. He's going to be content with that one. Going for Simple, but Simple will trade. But there are problems now for Na'Vi. What positions can they hold in this situation?
Yeah, fast decision making here for Astralis. They're a little bit too far away to commit and to try to just 3-on-1 Simple, so they're going to have to back away. They have time to do so as well. Very smart stuff from Device to push long after knowing that Guardian pushed short. Very smart stuff indeed.
In the meantime, Flamey has put Simple in a smoke. He's deliberately standing in a smoke, just in case, anticipating perhaps a play towards A, but it's not. It's B. KRB lining up the smoke for the balcony area. They've got players moving towards Monster as well. And Seized is in a passive position. We'll see if he can get a kill with this off angle.
So they've set up the push, the smokes are down, the bomb is available to be planted. Oh, the stack from Seized is absolutely phenomenal there. As Glaive will get the trade on to Flamey. Seized will spray away, but as Kirby is able to find the kill through the smoke. And once again, leaving Simple in the position where he has to clutch to save the team. 1 versus 2 with that bomb ticking away. It's no easy task for the man, but who else would you ask it of? It's Kirby, though, to take him down. 6-1, and Na'Vi have been shut down after their only round win so far this half.
That's a pretty bad spot for Na'Vi. KRB spotted Simple coming out of the door, and they put themselves in a situation where KRB's teammate could trade for him if necessary, forced Simple to extend to the point of no return, and then shot him straight in the face. And you can see the impact on the Na'Vi economy. This is a really bad spot. This is similar to what we saw when NIP played Vega Squadron. Won one round after a long time, but their opposition had lots of money in the bank, nothing but pressure coming their way. Can't get a consecutive round, and now Astralis could really run away with this half.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really interesting as well, because when we're talking about Device studying AWPers and understanding how the AWP dynamic works on a team, he looked at Na'Vi's setup in that last round, and as soon as he sees Guardian take a pick on the short position, he immediately understands that it's very, very likely that he can bank his life, that there's nobody covering A long, and that Simple will probably be the only player that's actually playing toilets, giving the 3 kills straight back. So that level of counterplay from Astralis, from the star players such as Device, that is just so difficult for Na'Vi to deal with right now. It's going to be a very tall order to come back against that one. But of course, luckily for Na'Vi, this is a best of 3, so the pressure isn't mounting too much just yet. Although the money is mounting for Astralis, that's for sure.
Simple going for a country stroll. He's heading towards the bomb. He could have taken Device down from the back. So Zipex could get caught off unawares here. He's got to get the double dings though. Got to ring his bell twice. Getting awkward now. Nice shoulder peeking there, trying to bait Zipex to start his spray. Zipex just about prevails, but look at their instant rotation from Na'Vi. Astralis still have time though. If they want to rotate towards A, they can do that. Still two players on the high ground. Meanwhile, Dupree trying to clean up. Bit of pre-fire though. He'll get taken down. That's a big weapon loss, and that might draw the T's away towards the A site. The bomb's still pretty far back. Device holding down the short position. That allows Zipex to rotate faster. Oh, more bells being rung. There's Edward doing big damage. They're going to rescue a lot of weapons here. There are decisions to make though, whether they go for it or hold on to this. They might want to. Guardian with an AWP. Never a bad situation.
That is actually pretty sick to come away with an AK and an AWP in this round. And talking about stealing edges away, that is what this level of competition is all about. When these teams have the fundamentals of the game nailed down to such a fine point, you have to find the smallest of edges. And if they can get away with these 2 guns and around like this, that can go a long way. As we can see, their economy is heavily stifled at this point. Guardian looking to perhaps take down the intrepid explorer in Glaive as he walks down the stairs, and there it is, an easy shot for Guardian, and Astralis still have the money to risk the remaining 2 players. Actually, it's not really the case, so it seems that Na'Vi are starting to bring things to more of a level footing. Oh, the spray! Oh, that is phenomenal there from Kirby, just in the nick of time. That's a massive steal there, taking away the AWP.
That is a huge coup for Astralis, especially as Edward was not in a position to rescue it. Somehow, though, they found the money. Edward had $4,900 in the bank before the end of that round, so I think he's dropped an AWP to Guardian. They've got to buy around this 1 saved weapon and a reasonable amount of grenades considering what we've seen so far. Simple again's going to be heading forwards, and Guardian, maybe attack is the best form of defense. He's going to those usual positions around the fountain. No smoke grenade, instantly flashed off though. In the meantime, see Dupree in connector. No early engagements for the CT side. They wanted that advantage, try and balance out their lack of grenades and the UMP on C's, that kind of thing, but no such luck.
So this is very interesting again, because Na'Vi really haven't had a huge amount of grenades, generally speaking, throughout all of their buys. And this is another round which is similar in that case. Astralis are playing a different pace. They are sending the feelers out across the map, much more passive than we typically have seen from them so far. And that's perhaps because they sense, okay, Na'Vi, they are a little bit weak on the utility with the European play, and we would expect some kind of aggression in the early round. But now we're at the 1 minute mark. It's on them to start pushing. And Simple, he's found himself an engagement, but once again, Kirby is proving to be on point. And that is a problem. 4 versus 5, 45 seconds left to go. Astralis have so far not had map control towards A. Do they commit to B? That's the question right now.
2 of the remaining CTs towards B bomb site. Flamey's close enough to hear these sounds. CC's trying to delay any advance. The push is coming in. He can't see Zipex in the flames and he makes it through. Flamey needs to hold down though. He needs to buy time for his team to rotate. Edward is still in the toilets on A. He needs to get in towards the B bomb site. They're not believers, Na'Vi, but that's going to work in the favour of Astralis. Smoke's all over the place. That's a great wall of smoke towards Graffiti, isolating players on the site, and the bomb's going to go down again.
And at this point, it's very, very scary for Na'Vi. They might be considering saving absolutely now. Incredible shot there from Dupree, finding Edward there. Thread through the needle, and Guardian might be able to sneakily take a kill away or two, but he's going to be very careful. The AWP has such high value moving into the following rounds. We've seen it so many times that a single AWP can be all that you need in the right place to win a round, especially in the hands of someone like Guardian or Simple. And once again, Astralis, they just are reading the rounds so incredibly well and just winning those opening engagements, and that is allowing them to just play the basics out. And Na'Vi are struggling so much with these suboptimal buys.
Speaking of reading rounds, Na'Vi didn't seem to have any idea what was going on in that round. The fact that there wasn't enough rotation, they still had a player walking in toilets, either trying to figure out what's going on or go for a late flank, but they needed men on the sites. Great wall of smokes around that Graffiti position. That cuts off a lot of opportunities for the CT side, especially where Na'Vi have been playing from when they've had 4 players. Often there's been a CT in that area. There is a timeout from Na'Vi once again, but really they are losing opportunities to get back into this. I mean, we asked about their T side. It's going to be nothing but T side if this continues. 1 round on the board on their CT side.
Yeah, the crazy thing actually is that Astralis are in this position where they have such a mental edge because, and not necessarily because of, let's say, the confidence that's at play. If you ignore that, it's more of the kind of meta game that's going on between the two teams of what strategy do you select, because Na'Vi are always playing from a little bit behind, and Astralis, because they understand Na'Vi's position so well, you know, they can really try to bait them into certain plays to go aggressive, so then they play a passive setup to counter that, then leaving Na'Vi in a spot like last round where they don't get any information at all because they have to play passively. Right now, Astralis are completely dictating the pace in every sense on overpass. It's quite brilliant to watch from them.
$2,900 will be given to each Na'Vi player should they lose this round. This is a disastrous start for the side. Their toughest test yet in this major. So far, Astralis are proving to be a very formidable opponent. It was Na'Vi who were surprising everyone they played in the previous matches, but Astralis are offering Na'Vi nothing but question marks in these rounds. Riddles that Na'Vi can't solve. 2 Deagles and some P250s on the CT side. Simple, having a look towards short. Kirby's going to get his bell rung, but he's got a teammate there for him. They have an off-angle crossfire. We have seen some...
so close.
Seen some nice Molotovs in those positions where Dupree is. Oh, Flamey, please! Much needed headshots, but they need rounds. They need a lot more than fancy headshots. Just 1 round on the board. That is a tough loss for Astralis, though. Device is in an awkward position. Does he hold this area on his own to try and protect these weapons? Or does he push the site with his teammates?
Yeah, I think they are fairly committed to just push where the weapons are. Oh, Flamey gets himself number 3. And this is just disgusting stuff from the man. He's steely, he's cold, he's finally dead at the hands of Zipex. Now the bomb is starting to be planted here. He's charging and there's nothing they can do. Na'Vi with a resurgence here. A much needed resurgence thanks to Flamey. You see a sly grin on his face there. He knows that was something special.
Lovely start from Flamey, but that only doubles their score to 2 rounds. 2 rounds. They've got money in the bank. There's an AWP being thrown over to a Guardian, but can they do anything else. There's a timeout from Astralis, again, trying to disrupt any momentum, any happy time for Na'Vi. Impending doom may sink back into the brains of these players. Guardian hasn't had any spectacular spawns towards the A site, towards any early peaks. He looks to be headed towards B at the moment. Astralis may discuss what to expect. They know Na'Vi are going to be back on the full buy, maybe the best buy they've had so far, and it's round 11.
Yeah, but if Na'Vi are able to start stringing a couple rounds together, we have a real game on our hands. Especially, I mean, it's a lot of Na'Vi's problem is that Astralis have been playing so effectively, so efficiently, and very smart when it comes to the strategic choices, that they haven't really left Na'Vi with many options to play on their CT side. And because of this, they don't get many chances to shine individually, but as soon as they're able to break Astralis, and they can start playing aggressive themselves and dictating the pace themselves, then we can see an entirely different overpass. So, hoping for Na'Vi's sake that they start to get into that groove, and we do have a push going on A-Long at the moment, and they're going to get all the information that currently Astralis are essentially shored up on the B position, and that is actually quite scary because right now there is a timing window that if Astralis just rush down the B bomb site, that they will crush that bomb site and that Na'Vi will have to save. The rotation's too far away. If they hit this timing, that's going to be devastating.
But they've got Guardian on the site. We've seen him do horrible things from this position before, but he's completely blind. He doesn't know there are players on the water as well. Down goes Flamey, down goes Guardian. Didn't see a single person, and Na'Vi are getting shut down. Edward and Simple are miles away. They're on an expedition. They will not get back in time. It might be another save for them. So many rounds have gone by already, though. Heading towards the B bomb site, they may feel like they have no choice at this point.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Na'Vi. They just selected the wrong strategy at the start of the round. Astralis realized, or they had a very good guess as to what was happening, and they just moved in at the right timing, and that's all it takes sometimes. Very unfortunate for Na'Vi. There's no other way to call it. We'll have to see if they can bounce back from that because Astralis are indeed marching towards quite the scoreline. But Simple still committing in here for some problems, or trying to create some problems for Astralis. Keeping himself alive with aggression axe. Clay very weak. Simple will take his head off. And that will be the round for Astralis. Simple looks like he'll be able to save this AK as well.
So again, no consecutive rounds for the CT side. 2-9 is the score. When Overpass was a younger map, you often saw 12-3 halves for the CT side. That may get turned on its head in this particular match. There's a buy again from Na'Vi. Guardian on the AWP again. A more forward spawn, but it's still going to head towards the B bomb site. Will we see another short B push from the CTs? Proved somewhat successful before. Sees Apex with that Molotov to try and shut down that idea. And indeed, Guardian will be delayed. Device having a look towards the long area. Two players. Oh, the double flash is lovely! Simple's got no idea what's going on. And again, Na'Vi disabled immediately.
That is so sick. I was thinking to myself, okay, this is cool. Na'Vi, they weren't discouraged by the result of the previous round with that strategy. Clearly, they have some kind of read. They're going to commit to it. But those flashbangs, what are you going to do? I mean, typically you have a setup where one of the two players can't get flashed, but somehow Astralis had both the flashes there to just flash everybody. That is really sick, a sick tactical display from Astralis, showing they have truly done all of their homework, making that play very safe. And in fact, not even just safe, round winning. They can convert this one so easily. All they have to do is just stick together. It's going to take something ridiculous from Guardian or Flamey, two players who are, of course, in their own right, absolute monsters, but this is going to be a tough ask. Very tough indeed, but there's still opportunity with an awful like Guardian on the team. There's still a chance for Na'Vi to claw this back round, but the problem is you can't shoot if you can't see, and Astralis has done a very good job of blinding these powerful, strong, very skilled Na'Vi players in these rounds. Guardian rotating to join his teammate. Lovely timing. Flamey going to shut down the short push for now. The chance continues though. Guardian's got the angle. He can be the bait. Flamey can down. That's Guardian alone versus 2. 20 seconds. He's got two players to fight. Looking the wrong angle. Sebek will take him down. Double figures for Astralis. And this is a very frustrating way for a player like Guardian to start off the match. He's not had many opportunities. A couple of the opportunities he's maybe had, he gets, there's perfect flashes. There's just not too much he can do in those spots, and that's one of those spots. Once again, we started to see some frustration there in Guardian's face. He's going to really have to display his mental constitution in this matchup because Astralis are really not making it easy. Flamey there, he almost actually gave him a chance to win that too. So 10-2 is the scoreline now. Astralis really dominating this T side of theirs on overpass. And back to pistols. Na'Vi so familiar with that. Ooh.
Well, there's one kill, but one kill's great. 2 rounds isn't for the Na'Vi side, and this is one of 3 that remain in this half. Na'Vi, death by paper cuts in a round such as this. What a good start to this best of 3 for them. Astralis looking extremely powerful, coming into this major as a favourite for many people, and they're showing us why.
And one of the ethoses behind some of the strategic choices from Na'Vi on their CT side is that when they have had weapons, they understand that you can't just, against a team like Astralis, you can't just wait and give them map control and then allow them to execute a set piece on the wrong side. What you have to do is you have to pressure them early on and get an early round advantage if you can, and then fall back, and then you can play passively. Only once you've picked up an advantage, so you've disrupted their initial strategy, and that's the way to go if you're playing a team like Astralis. But so far, Astralis, they have all the counter aggressions. It's been absolutely brilliant so far. We'll have to see if Na'Vi can roll a better gamble on the next buy round for them, but so far, of course, it has been fairly bleak. Edward is the only man standing here with his PT50, and not much he can do with that, I don't think.
Still playing it very carefully, like a protect the VIP escort of the bomb onto the sites. And there is that final elimination. So, Na'Vi can't be in the highest of spirits, but again there's a buy. C's dropping the sniper rifle for Guardian. Edward on the UMP. And the AWP's coming back out for Astralis. They've had some AKs for a while, but Device looking to fight fire with fire, it seems.
And this is one of those spots for Na'Vi where they can't play scared. They know that. They have enough experience to know that. So we might actually see Guardian going ham or trying something absolutely insane in a round like this. Because right now they need 4 rounds. They can't. They have to get something going for themselves. And this is a great play from Astralis. Straight into that B-bomb side, looking for the entry, but Seas and Flamey deny them.
The bomb's down. That means rotation for the CTs. Lovely Grenade coming in. Won't get a kill. Those effects get taken down by headshot. More CTs are here. The bomb hasn't been collected just yet. That smoke on shot will help Edward. He can hold his angle. The re-smoke comes in. That's brutal for the Astralis team. They want to crush Na'Vi in this half. Smoke down on the bomb. How does Device get back out? C's trying to pick up the bomb. That's going to be that. 2 players left there for the T side. Be perfect for Na'Vi if they didn't lose a single player. Both T's on short, as you can see there. And Guardian position, that may reveal a player later on. Going for the wall banks. They're lining up as well. This is a bit dangerous. 1 minute on the clock, and it might just be about damage for Astralis at this point.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's, C's nicely done. Gets a shot onto Glaive there. And I was worried for Na'Vi. I think this is a great strategy selection here. Once again from Astralis, they realize, you know what? We can just gamble this. We can play that 50-50 because they expected an aggression from Na'Vi, I think. And if Na'Vi were to play aggressive on the A side of the map, once again, they get that anti-timing and they just get the B-bomb site for free. So very good setup from C's and Flamey to just be able to defend with a moment's notice. Just so focused. That's very encouraging to see from C's and Flamey there on the B-bomb side. Very encouraging indeed. And 3 rounds, they're starting, I mean, if they get another couple, that is some breathing room. Well, another one. That is some breathing room for Na'Vi.
On the subject of Flamey, I think his performance will be crucial if Na'Vi are to do well in this series. He is top ranking for the team at the moment with what little rounds they have, and indeed this 4th round will be very important for the Na'Vi side.
Double AWP Jays. We have Simple on the AWP. Brilliant stuff. Of course, Guardian is the primary AWPer, and he's a legend in his own right, but it is always quite exciting. You never know what's going to happen when Simple picks up an AWP, James. Sometimes he throws it at his opponent and then kills him with a pistol, for example. Yeah,
but it's Device. He's been the one to watch at the moment as far as AWPing has gone. Joint top for his team with Zipex with 14 kills apiece. Guardian taking some pot shots, going fishing. Nothing biting just yet. Astralis, a minute on the clock. And again, they've kept Na'Vi confused and devoid of information in previous rounds. We'll see if they can continue to do so. No early picks for Astralis, despite Flamey being tagged. That may make a difference here.
We might see a wall of smoke play coming in onto the A bomb side. That's very problematic because Na'Vi are doing a play where they have both AWPs in one place on the A side. So if there is a wall of smokes on the site, they run in plant and fall back. That is essentially a fantastic counter strat. So that means that you just need an insane performance here. Simple already goes down to the Device's AWP. There's the wall of smokes. They can't see anything. They have to put through the smokes to get any kills here. Edward's a forward position to try to stop the bomb from going down. Guardian looking for the wall bang. Can't really quite find it, at least for a fatal connection, and that is just so hard to deal with. And what can they do? They're being pushed now as well.
Flamey with 9 HP, 3 people to find, and he's not going to be able to do it. 12-3, a monstrous half from Astralis. Has to be very unexpected from the T side. Again, these are old school CT scores that they're bringing out.
This is just godlike stuff. I am so impressed by Astralis so far, James.
Download Team Stream, the free app from Bleacher Report, and follow the esports stream for all the latest ELEAGUE and esports news. If you want to see how that shocking half concludes, then that's one way to look at a review. If you can't bear to watch, if you are an RB fan, then maybe that app is for you. We'll see if they can get back into things. It will require a strong pistol. And again, Flamey, he's going to be important in this series, despite how bad this is starting for them, the Na'Vi side. And Device, again, he's maybe the most consistent player in the game, or at least he's definitely up there in the top 3.
The thing as well is that, I mean, there's been some performances in some of the rounds from him. Like, one key one for me was very early on, which really started to break Na'Vi, was when he was able to immediately react from his position and just take it upon himself. When he sees Guardian in a forward position, he immediately starts running, just knowing that the setup that there will be a hole in the setup. He knew exactly where it was and that he was in a position to deal with it. That's something that you don't have time to communicate to your teammates, something you just do, and then you realize that was actually a very smart decision. So he is definitely very well prepared for this one. So a confident Astralis is always good to see, but Na'Vi, if they need to pick up this pistol round to get their confidence running in, and we haven't really seen much from their T sides, so it's even hard to know what to expect with this new look Na'Vi lineup with Simple.
For those of you on GoTV or Game Command, this game is on Game Command. Forgive me, I have neglected you. But this is all Astralis at the moment, so definitely keep eyes on Device. He seems to have the upper hand against these AWPers, so perhaps they spoke too soon. Keep an eye on his POV, and we'll see if he can take his team over the line in this half. Astralis with all the advantages. Na'Vi opted against the fountain jewels that we often see in pistol rounds on Overpass. Such advantages for the CT side there with the range of the USPs. Will Astralis go for aggression? Indeed, Device seems headed in that direction. We'll see if he makes it over there once the other pause comes in. Again, the players get a few minutes at half-time to just gather their thoughts, chill out, try and reset if you're the Na'Vi side. Seem to be in good spirits. It is a best of 3, of course, and I think the unpause has just come in.
Yes, it's a good point about the fountain play. Device that is definitely his bread and butter as far as when you consider the aggressive AWP options. And then after he shows the basics, then he starts to dynamically move around, and that's where things get really scary against him as an AWP player. But they have to have the momentum first to allow him the space to do that. We'll see who gets the momentum. Here we go, second half, Astralis versus Na'Vi. Can Na'Vi bring the comeback here, or will Astralis close this one out in a completely dominating fashion? That is the question. Na'Vi, they have some nades to work with here.
Yeah, we saw Kiabi going for those fast duels at the beginning. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. Can't play it too safe when you have such advantages, but Na'Vi not going to engage immediately. We have Guardian, he's been made the raid boss. He's got a P250, that is almost double the headshot range on a pistol round for the T side. Very important stuff. You see he's trying to use that range, maybe take the CTs by surprise, going towards that long area. He wants the engagement with a gun like a P250. Rest of the team on those lowly Glocks, those honest Glocks. 2 flashbangs as well. Guardian doesn't want to overextend, but there we go. There's the range of the headshot coming into play.
And that's the start they needed to see. Kirby though, oh, executioner Kirby coming in with 2 from the back, and that could be problematic. However, Na'Vi have equalized. Of course, we can't forget the initial advantage Guardian gave them on the way in, and now as the bomb planted is ticking away, Simple chimes in, and now it's just going to be Dupree, the entry man. A pistol extraordinaire, but not this time. It's all about Simple. Na'Vi with 4, picking up the pistol round.
1 round at a time for Na'Vi. 1 round at a time. But a question, are their anti-ecos as good as Astralis is? We'll find out. And again, very good attention to detail by Na'Vi. I don't feel like we see that often enough from T-sides, having someone on a P250 in the pistol round. Again, it's almost double the headshot range versus a Glock. It's very close to that. And it can be extremely important, Na'Vi using it on range. Trusting Guardian, and he delivers. But it's time for the anti-eco. Astralis have tooled up. They're at the boatyard, Kimbo Slice style. They've got the armor, bunch of pistols as well. Smoke and a HE grenade onto the Kiabi. So we'll see if their force buys are as tight as their anti-force buys.
Yeah, things just very calm at the moment for Na'Vi as they make certain that nothing goes wrong early on in this round. Of course, that can happen, and of course also with the confidence that Astralis will have, or rather, perhaps confidence is not the best word to use here. The buffer of rounds they have in advantage gives them the ability to take riskier plays. It gives them that margin for error to work with, which can make them a little bit more unpredictable. We'll see, though, if that is the style that they want to play with this lead. There's a lot of different approaches you can take, and the approach they've taken so far is a somewhat default one, where you just sit on the bomb sites and you essentially just try to get your, lucky on that first shot, get that first kill, just like that, and then take it from there.
Not a good start for Na'Vi. 43 seconds, and again, you have to start to worry. They're a man down. That gun isn't retrievable for the time being, but Dupree might come in for the flank. Kiabi taken down. They need to get that bomb down before things get too hairy. Another 1D coming in. The meat shots being delivered by Astralis. Glaze, this is not big tech just yet. Edward finding the kill. Zipex gets his bell run. But that's damage on Na'Vi. Edward's heavily tagged as well. Oh dear. Are they going to plant on the right side? Indeed they are. That could have been a complete disaster. Guardian spots Dupree. It's going to be about Edward here, but they're so heavily tagged. This is very doable for Dupree. Lovely angles being held. Guardian's got 3 HP. The ball's on his side, but he has to pick at the right time. It's not going to work out. They've crushed them that.
Device, those Deagles, man, just sent shockwaves to the Na'Vi lineup. They're trying to make their way in clean, but Device made an absolute meal of that for them. And Dupree, indeed, it was all set up for him here, but they were so weak. Clutch comes out, and this is just... Na'Vi needs something. I don't know what it is exactly to bring them back from this, but only 3 away are Astralis. Everything seems to be going their way. We're seeing such a good performance out of Device, just delivering such highly impactful frags. And it's not just him who's delivering, Kirby as well. Zipex, Dupree, everybody from Astralis right now is dialed in, so focused and delivering for the team. Na'Vi, they're going to force straight back here and see what they can do. They've mustered, actually, they dropped some rifles to actually play this round out. Astralis might not expect this.
I would suggest that. That's a lovely grenade though, and the spray is absolutely perfect from Zipex. Trade from Flamey. Flamey doing monstrous stuff. That's an open B bomb site. They need to capitalize on this. Glaive, oh, that's gross. That is a problem for Na'Vi. They need to get the bomb down fast when they've got the personnel to cover these angles. Glaive gets taken down. I've got Kiabi wants to move in before these players get into position. They haven't planted the bomb yet. They've got time though. That's not the biggest worry. Kiabi lost, so is Guardian. Device going to reset the situation and move elsewhere. Now finally the bomb can get planted.
Can anyone stop Flamey in this round? Device is the only man left. Flamey's killed everyone else, so he is the one that stands for that task. Let's see if he's up for it. Flamey is just feeling it right now. He might not want to peek at all. I mean, force Device close, force him to tap the bomb, and in doing so, already Device will lose so much time. It would be a great mistake for them to peek him in this position and give him even the slimmest of chances to get a quick kill. Just checking what's going on. In fact, getting some good damage there as well. Device might be able to escape here, but what damage there from Flamey. Absolutely perfect play. Takes matters into his own hands and delivers the quad kill as you do, and that is the kind of performance that we need out of Flamey. And perhaps that's going to lift Na'Vi as they win the force buy back. And what a force buy it was, dropping the rifles. That's not a very common approach.
Yeah, but it's a smart one. Risks have to be taken in that situation. Na'Vi have not yet won a consecutive round in this map. They're running out of opportunities with which to do so. Another important round from them, and the fourth buy from Astralis is going to be even stronger than the last. That does not bode well for the boys in yellow. 4 AKs in this round. Edward on the UMP, pistols here and there. Bunch of different weapons for the Astralis team. He's leaving the bomb in a passive position to start with, and with Astralis being better equipped than the previous rounds, they stack the sites, although they seem to be going for an expedition towards long. Going to leave Kiabi in a forward position, often known as a one and done spot, but if they check it properly, can lead to two kills for the CT side.
It's also nice too because he has the UMP, and so he's going to be playing at ranges, or almost restricted entirely to ranges, which make the UMP, although its rate of fire is slower than the AK, it's going to feel almost as powerful in that position as opposed to playing longer ranges. So it's a really smart choice, and it also gives an early warning system for Device, who does actually have the rifle, to maybe come out and get a very fine angle to maybe help him out if there is a problem there. So overall, it's quite a nice setup. I like it a lot, but quite safe, and they should at least get a kill out of it. And the nades here are very low for Na'Vi. You can see that due to that fact, they should be somewhat committed to this play on the way. And here it is. Kirby, there's the peak. That's a oh wow, that's a free one. There's no trade, James. That is very bad for Na'Vi.
Yeah, the problem for Na'Vi is they've got one flashbang. They've got one flashbang, and there we go. 2 kills from the 1 kill position. And the clock, they don't have time for this, Na'Vi. 30 seconds left. The clock's starting to move in, but it kills. Flamey and C putting in work. Flame towards Optimus, he can't stop the bomb from going down, and now he is isolated, outnumbered, and they get their first consecutive round on the board.
Man, Flamey in this game so far, he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm not going to let us lose this one. He's just doing everything he possibly can. Flamey is absolutely killing it right now, and his team are always at such disadvantages. Every time something goes wrong, Flamey steps up to correct it. That is just a beautiful performance from him in such an important match. And long may it continue. As Astralis now are forced to an eco. They haven't been forced to many ecos, but here we go.
The honest eco, the full USP eco, the James Bond eco. Looking to go into those close quarters, not around connector though. Nice to be connector when you've got a P250 and the like. Edward starting well, Guardian moving in. That is brief, it is swift, and it's perfect from Na'Vi, not losing a single player. Every dollar will count. Right then, Astralis with the big buy, Kirby dropping the AWP for Device. And again, we said keep an eye on Device on Game Command and Go TV, but Flamey with 20 kills, leading the charge for both teams at the moment. Definitely keep an eye on him. A very key player for Na'Vi if they are to continue this comeback. 6 rounds away now on Na'Vi from tying the score with Astralis.
And Device is really important here again because he knows that his job is to, he has a choice. He likely knows where Guardian is probably going to take an AWP, so he has a choice to either avoid him or try to push him. And in fact, he's leaving it to his teammates to do a forward push with that smoke grenade.
What's amazing is Na'Vi will surely have no idea how to deal with this. Because normally you see the smoke at the bottom of the stairs, but that's even deeper. They've walled off. How do you respond to this, Na'Vi? Have you seen this before?
The great thing for Astralis is that this pressure play, it doesn't risk that much in a way of, let's say, losing a player. But what it does do is that, okay, they invest their own resources, their own utility in doing so, and they don't have as much, but they will get rid of a lot from Na'Vi because now every single position leading up to the A-bomb site is actually a question mark. And if Na'Vi don't want to take any risks, then they have to use a lot of their utility to clear out all these positions, and it takes a lot of time as well to get to those positions from having basically been pinned into your spawn. So that's what Astralis were going for there. You can see they've fallen all the way back, only one forward man in Kirby.
Yeah, and again, he can be the early warning system. 2-man spray down for Kirby. Oh, he's got a third as well, and he sees the bomb. He has everything. He has complete information. He is omnipresent. Guardian wonders what on earth has happened to his team. What can he do?
That is not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to go like that. He's supposed to get one maybe, not the entire team. I mean, again, if you look at the timing when they were pushing, when Kirby gets that information, let's just say he gets 1 kill and dies, he already has so much information for Astralis that they are still in an advantage. But he just wins the round. This is incredible stuff from him. I mean, we saw good stuff from Device too, but Kirby wants the piece. But speaking of pieces, Guardian's going to take one from Device. He knows he has to try to survive with this AWP, misses a critical shot that cannot be missed, and he will go down. Astralis are just on such a crazy level right now.
Sometimes it's not your day, and sometimes the milk is bad. Sometimes there's no bread left to spread your jams. Astralis with double the score of Na'Vi now. Double the score, a timeout from Na'Vi. They have money in the bank. Flamey's got $9,000. They can go for a 4-buy. He can drop for Simple, who's a bit short. But how do they win? How do they experience success? It's been very rare for them. It's almost like they are prospecting for gold at the moment. But again, that's just a great strat from Astralis. That smoke is like, okay, what is safe? Where can we expect them? We have no idea what's going on. We have not even started map control. And as you mentioned, Dan, they have to check every corner after that. It wastes so much time.
Yeah, Astralis, I think, famously were very good as well at innovating strategies. On Dust 2, I think, was one of the maps where they first started to do stuff like that, where they create this almost vacuum on the map where it's impossible for you to really know how they're set up, and it takes a long time to figure it out. And that gives them so much time to work with. Even if they just play passively, they only need a small bit of information to figure things out. And there it is, that's what we're talking about. The aggressive attempt from the Device is not connected this time around. How will Na'Vi play off of this? They're a bit faster into position this time due to the lack of that forward smoke. And just the constant mix-up from Astralis does keep Na'Vi guessing. And you can see there was a very realistic opportunity there. Device very well could have gotten a kill. He didn't this time, thankfully for Na'Vi's sake.
If you ask someone what the strengths of Na'Vi were with this lineup, you would look towards Guardian, Simple, and of course Flamey. The Guardian and Simple have been ruled out. Ooh, Dan. We have a birthday party happening. We've got some nasty stuff, but there's no one there to make use of it. Maybe the big red button was pressed. I'm sure that got the Valve dev sweating as well.
Okay, well, they did kill some time in doing that. They have about 45 seconds left now in the round. They've got 3 players towards the long position. The bomb it needs to be collected almost immediately right now. Someone has to go back for it. It's likely going to be Simple or Seized.
Everyone's moving forward there.
Yeah, okay, Simple has to go back and get that, because look at Seized, he's making the he's trying to make a play here into the B bomb site. If he gets a pick off here, that's going to be massive. It'll delay rotation. It will convince them that it's going to be B perhaps. There's 4 players on B. Na'Vi almost have the A bomb site. Device spots everything. Finally, it seems like Astralis have guessed wrong, but can Na'Vi capitalize?
They still need to get the bomb down, and they are quite lacking in grenades. Look at this rotation. Do they give a damn about that smoke? Perhaps not. They're charging straight back in. Shocker North. They can't get a bomb down in this situation. They've got 10 seconds, and the CT's got the angle and all the kills. It's Edward alone, 6 seconds. He has to find the kill. It's time to plant the bomb. It's too late, Edward. You got to get a kill. Jumping's to the high now. 1 second. It's too late.
Oh man, James, he had a chance. He had a slight chance. If he knew just straight away, they didn't have time. He could have gone for it. Oh, that is devastating. That puts Astralis on match point. What a way to bring ourselves onto match point. Even when Astralis makes the misread, sorry, game point. Very good correction there. Even when they make the mistake in the read, which seemingly has not, I don't think that's even happened until that round, they still somehow recover it. It's crazy. It's crazy business.
What a great response though from Astralis. Bedlam is the option. I don't care about the smoke. Let's go straight through the smoke and kill everyone. Let's not allow them to get the bomb down. Marvelous stuff. A solid game point, a message-sending game point from Astralis. But Na'Vi, they're not out of this just yet. Edward and Seized with the AKs. Flamey on a deagle. I'd want to give Flamey an AK. He's got 21 kills, man.
It's not looking too fun, is it? I mean, Flamey's been doing so well. And I mean, he's not showed us any reason to doubt him just yet. They've done all of this. Oh, that is scary stuff there. The swipe from Device is not going to be connected this time, but once again, you don't have to rely on Device when everybody's firing off like this, delivering crazy performances. Na'Vi taking their time, and so far you can see Astralis just once again poking in towards sewers. They're not convinced that Na'Vi are going for that B setup just yet, and they've gotten the information to confirm that. There's still 50 seconds though for Na'Vi to try to double back to that position if they wanted to switch things up, but it's very unlikely, I think, from this point. They are going to have to commit onto this A bomb site. They've only got so many grenades to do it with.
Simple. Lining up some smokes. Could be for the stairs, could be for the truck. And it is for the stairs indeed. Let's see how the CTs position themselves. Kirby's in the one and done position. You don't really have an opportunity to retreat once you are seen. Device though, got to love the angle, but can he find the heads? He can! There's another one, there goes Simple. It's 15 seconds again, the bomb needs to go down. They're just running into the crosshair and he's delivering every single time. 4 kills for Device, he wants the VIP, he wants the ace. Not going to get it, those C's. He's got 2 more players to take down. Glaive towards Bank. Zipex towards the truck. He's got that wrong angle, and that's it. Game 1's going to go the way of Astralis, and what a message they have sent to Na'Vi.
This Device guy is an absolute assassin, taking everybody down. That is such a strong statement for the first map, James. That is, it can't get stronger than that.
That is very monstrous stuff. Again, They took Simple out of the game, they took Guardian out of the game if you can't get the AWPs going. And look at the map pool we've got here as well. If that continues, then you have to wonder what Na'Vi can do in this situation.